learn some basics about the cloud security part. Okay. At first, I want to want to know a basic intro about you, how you are familiar with the AWS. Okay, and
Okay.
Azure, GCP. So we can start then.
Okay. Thank you. Good
Okay.
morning.
So
Nice.
at first, yes. Good morning.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Cyprian Ambe.
Okay, Sipen. Okay. Am I pronouncing correct? Sipen.
Yes, very correct.
Okay. Okay. So now you can tell me about how much you have experience in AWS, Azure, GCP, and why you are going for the this AWS security. Then we can start off today's class.
Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. The reason I am going in for security is because I want to make a career switch.
Mhm.
I am a system administrator at NASA. I work for NASA. I've been with NASA since 2019.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I see there's a lot of growth in cloud computing and with especially security. So I have I have I have exposure in security. I actually have worked for Cisco as a SOC analyst, which gave me a lot of exposure to security. So
Mhm.
combining that with my system administrator skills, Linux, Windows, I
Mhm.
thought I think the cloud would be a good start for me. So I have done a lot on AWS. I am certified in some AWS. I have some AWS certifications. It's Azure and GCP that I am blank, like zero blank. But with AWS, I can say I'm 70% versed with AWS. You know, I think I can build application and do stuff. But with Azure, I'm zero. With GCP, I'm zero. So yep, that's where I am.
Okay, that's great. So today's class will be the introductory class. It will be for I will understand how much knowledge do you have, and according to that, I will plan for the next classes. Today's class will be the basic theoretical. Don't think it will be the boring. From the next class, we directly jump up to the practical parts in AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. I will share my screen. Is my screen is visible?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay, at first going toward the cloud security, I want to ask you regarding some questions regarding what is cloud?
Cloud computing is. I'm just going to say cloud computing is delivering. It's a concept of delivering IT resources on a pay as you go module.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a company wants to, every company have its own server. Okay,
Right.
right. Okay, so but multiple companies now towards switching over the cloud. Why? If we are having our own server, why we are going toward cloud?
Because it is scalable.
Mm-hmm.
You can scale up and down depending on the workload. It's easy to scale the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it reduces cost. It is cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is one big advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It is scalable and um, 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 cost
And
optimization.
cost optimization. Okay.
Cost
So
optimization. Yeah.
yes. So what happens if the company have its own server? Like let's assume basically to don't think like today we are not gonna toward a technical terms. Today is an introductory class, and so at first today we're gonna think like if I am having my own server. Okay, all the data of a company is inside its server. Okay, this is my own server, and this is one I have rented a cloud server. It is a
Okay.
rented cloud server. Okay, so in the own server it will be cost more, or it in the cloud server? I think you have experience, so Can you give me the brief idea? In the own server, like if I am having my company's server, okay?
Yes, yes.
So which
So
one have which is cost effective?
the cloud is cost effective. The on server, the maintenance is high. You have to cool the data center.
Hmm.
You have to acquire hardware. You have to
Mm-hmm.
get, yes, you have to get, you protect the servers aware, you know, apply security sticks and all that stuff. So and then you get
Mm-hmm.
physical logs. That's the entry in and out of the data center. So it is more expensive to run the data center than the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But there is also one thing, multiple companies like IBM, Oracle, they have also their own server with them, and they are some part they are working on cloud server, and some part of their work working on their in own server. Like there are two servers in a company. One is a cloud server, but is its own server. So why they go for those two server? Why they don't go totally on the cloud?
Well, sometimes some companies have legal application that they really are not sure of moving to the cloud. How maybe
Mm-hmm.
performance issues, latency and stuff like that. So uh, I think that's me thinking. So for some reason, some companies want to keep their legal application on site or on prem because I think it is much more secure. Though the cloud is secure too, but I think it is much more secure, and then you have authority over your application more than in the cloud.
Hmm. Okay, so can it is can we do that? We can make our cloud more secure, like it is looks like our on-premises server. Like this is our on-premises server and this is our cloud server. So can we do like that? Our cloud server is totally secure. Can we do?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the part of the cloud security comes here. Like you have a good knowledge about the cloud. So the cloud security parts come here. So if a company wants to secure its cloud totally, okay. So the main thing why we are learning this cloud security, why the companies need the security part. Hmm?
Sorry, ask your question again. I didn't hear that.
Okay, I'm asking you why the companies are want to hire some cloud security expert.
So that he can come protect the, the company's cloud infrastructure,
Hmm. So
protect
what
the
will be
data.
the role? Okay, so the what will be the role of the cloud security engineer there? What he will do?
He will make sure the infrastructure is the cloud infrastructure is secured.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So what happens at first we will gonna about some terms used in the cloud security. Do you know about there is some governments compliances, availability, data and security, identity and access management, and DR and DR/BC planning. Okay, so at first I want you to tell about the cloud security. So the cloud security is basically every companies right now. There are multiple companies who switched their on-premises server to the cloud server. So they need their server secure. Basically, they need their server secure because all their company's details, company's employees' data, all inside that one cloud server. Okay, so they need something which will be gonna secure their cloud. Okay, before
Mm-hmm.
that, going to the cloud security again, some questions I'm going to ask you. Then the cloud service, we say in the cloud, we say there are multiple cloud providers, cloud service providers. Do you know what do you mean? What is the meaning of cloud service provider?
Yes.
Okay, what is?
Cloud service provider are people like AWS, Azure, GCP, the people who actually provide the cloud resources or services to companies.
That's good. So the cloud service provider is who gonna give us like the services in rent. Okay, so two things, one is on premises, one thing we will get on rent. So in the cloud service providers like AWS has the largest market share right now. Then the Azure have. Then in the last we have GCP. Okay, and extra will be there is multiple cloud providers also like Alibaba, and there are multiple more like similar to that. But these three are mainly currently in the market, which are popular. Okay,
Right.
okay, okay. So again, we go toward the cloud security part. The cloud security is refers to measure taken to protect data. It will be like for the protect data, our protect our application, and protect our infrastructure. Okay, as well as infrastructure in cloud computing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. Then also there is a like currently all the companies going toward the cloud services. So the companies also needed a security engineer in their company. So who gonna manage all the security part regarding in our cloud computing? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So before going to the cloud security, you need to have a basic knowledge about the service providers, like how the service providers services used and which service will be helps them in the security part.
Right.
Okay. So as you told me, you are comfortable with currently with AWS. So
Yes.
can you tell me some services which helps us in the cloud security in AWS,
I'll start with security hub.
in cloud security? Sorry.
In cloud security,
Yes.
yeah, I'll start with security hub. That's in the AWS security hub.
Okay.
Yes, I will start with the KM, the how do you call the KMS, the key management service
Good.
we use for key encryption. I
Mm-hmm.
will the inspector,
Mm-hmm.
AWS inspector,
Mm-hmm.
the AWS how do you call this thing that scans. We have the inspector and there's this other guard duty. Sorry, the guard duty. AWS guard duty.
Duty and okay.
Right. So yep, I
Okay.
think those. Yeah, and then we also have the very most important. We have
Mm-hmm.
AWS um, IAM, Identity and Access Management. I think that's where
Yes.
security starts.
Yes. That's good. So the base, the important are there are multiple services in the cloud security in AWS. But if we are talking about the from the starting, so the company use mostly the part of IAM. Okay, so it is for the user perspective. Like here, you create your user policies, you set the user policies, you makes the groups here. We're gonna do it in the practical part. You makes your groups here. Inside the groups, you will add the policies to which user you want to give which policy, and you can create a group also, and you can assign some policies to that group, and you can put all the members inside that group. Okay, then, you ever
Okay.
heard about VPC in AWS also?
Yes. Y- Yeah,
Okay,
virtual
so what
private
is
cloud.
VPC?
Yes.
Okay, so
So
also the
VPC.
cloud security.
So
Hmm. Yes, yes.
yeah, VPC is like an umbrella where you build under which you build your resources. It's
Hmm.
your private network. It's a virtual private network where you build your resources and control, put control so that
Hmm.
of what go the traffic that goes out and come in, what you want to allow, the traffic you want to allow, and what you want to go out. That's-
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
that's also good. So the VPC is basically a virtual private cloud which is used in AWS. So it is like we are having a whole cloud infrastructure, and inside that we are creating our own virtual private cloud, which will be helps us to like isolate our all the things which we need to gonna secure. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so in the VPC, like as you know about the VPC, so we are learning these because you know them. Then we can compare these with the Azure and GCP. Okay, the same things
Okay.
inside Azure and VPC, but those all are from the different names. But in GCP there is a same name IAM is used. In Azure there is a different name. The all the work same, but the functionalities and how they work, these things are different. But there are only the name difference. The work is same. Okay, so the
Okay.
VPC is what happens. If we talk about the VPC, inside the VPC there are two things the company can put. There are multiple. Do you know about EC2?
Yes.
Okay, so there are multiple EC2 instances. So here we came with the part of the cloud security. So what the company wants that there is a two rules. Do you know about inbound and outbound?
Yes. Inbound and outbound rules. Yes.
Okay, so what is inbound?
Inbound is the traffic that is coming into your infrastructure environment, and outbound is the
Mhm.
traffic that is going out from your environment.
Okay, that's also good. So the inbound rules are which are coming toward our server, and outbound rules are which what thing we gonna make, which thing needs to be go out from our this server. Okay, so there
Yes.
are also some do you know about subnets?
Yes.
Okay, that's also good. So I think you have a good knowledge regarding AWS, so it will be helps you in this training. Okay, so in the subnets, what why the subnets are used?
To break the network into little chunks, break the
Hmm.
network into little chunks so that it makes the network easy to manage.
Yes, it helps the, and also there is a, it also distributes our IP address in multiple parts, which helps us to save our IP addresses. There is another thing the subnets do. So what happens, the as a cloud security engineer, the company wants to you that anybody can't be able to access our this instance. There are two servers. One is our private server, one is our public server. Okay, so if we compare it as our coding part, so in the coding there are two things. One is a front end. Do you know what is front end is?
The front end is what the customer will see or what the client will
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Hmm. And the
And,
back end is
and the
the
back end
function,
is the functional part.
the functional part there.
Yes.
Okay, the backend gives us the logic part, and the functional part we creates. The company what they do, they creates a private server and a public server. Okay, so inside that private server they worked on, they write, they put their backend code. In the public server they put their front end code. So the company want that the if someone wanna want to access, they only get access of our public server. Okay, they can't be able to access our private server. Here the part of the cloud security also occurs. Here the cloud security manager have to make some inbound outbound rules, some security groups. Okay,
Yeah.
and some WAF. Do you know what is WAF?
Yeah. WAF. That's the
WAF.
WAF. That's the web firewall.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It is web authentication. Okay, so what we want in the software level we can make a DevOps, and the EC2 level we can create our security groups and multiple groups around there. Okay, so this is
Okay.
also a part of the cloud security. The same things happen in our Azure also. Then Azure we say our EC2s as our virtual box, VM. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, and there are also the same thing as VPC. Okay, so they're the
Right.
same work you do, but the only differences between the interfaces, there are some functionality differences, and all the but they works as same. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now do you know what is IAS, PES, and SAS?
No.
Okay, so this is also an important term in our cloud. Okay, ISPS, SAS. It is an infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and a software as a service.
Oh, oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, 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 okay. I didn't get you correctly. Yep, yep.
okay, okay. So what is infrastructure as a service?
Infrastructure as a service, I cannot fully. I'm always confused between those, but I let me see. I think I know software is software service
Okay.
where the company. Let me know who disturb your
Mhm.
time. Just go ahead and explain. Sorry.
Okay. So now I will tell you what is ISPSSS. So the infrastructure as a service gives you the whole infrastructure to manage. Okay, there are
Yeah.
three services. At first, I will show you something like this is. Uh, I was saying this. This is the difference between on-premises ISPS SAS. Do you seeing this?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens? It is called also a responsibility model. Okay. It is a responsibility model, which is here there are four services. On premises means your own server, which is created by you and managed by you. IaaS, infrastructure as a service. PaaS, platform as a service. SaaS, software as a service. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens when here some points which responsibility is gonna accessed by and managed by us. This blue part is managed by us, and this green part
No,
is
I'm
managed.
sorry. Sorry, I'm not seeing
Mhm.
the blue part. I'm seeing the page where it says cloud security key concept AWS versus Azure. I'm not seeing the part you're showing now, the blue part versus
Okay, you only think that part. Wait
yeah,
a minute. I
I'm
will.
seeing slide one. Okay, yep. Now I see. Correct. Thank
Wait
you.
a minute. I will. Wait a minute. I think I've shared my screen, but it is only showing you only one part. Wait a minute.
No, I see it now. I see the key security.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see it now.
Understood. Understood.
Yep. I see the shared responsibility now.
Mhm.
All right.
Wait a minute, I will do one thing for you. I will share my whole screen.
Okay.
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 Okay, so this is there are four things on premises, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so the on-premises means our own servers. There are you can see three colors. One is like blue part, one is something like green, and one is yellow. Here, where I have written in the Microsoft, it is not only Microsoft. Here, our AWS also came, our GCP also came. Okay,
Okay.
so don't think it is only regarding Microsoft. All the cloud service providers came here inside this part
Okay.
where the Microsoft. Okay. So the on-premises server we have to manage like the data governance, right management, all the things have to manage by customer. If we can start from the last, we can start from the last. At first, on premises server we have to maintain our physical data center. We have to maintain our physical network. We have to maintain our physical host. We have to maintain our operating system, network control applications, identity and directory infrastructure, and all the things on premises we have to manage by our own. But as an infrastructure as a service, by its name we can assume it gives us an infrastructure, means it gives us all the hardware part by their own. Like it gives us a physical host, it gives us a physical network, and it also gives us a physical data center. So the cost of the physical hardware thing in the infrastructure as a service we don't have to give. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in infrastructure as a service, we don't have to pay any penny in our hardware part. We only have to manage our operating system, our network control, which is a main important thing in our cloud security perspective, our application, which we are gonna deploy in our AWS, Our identity and directory infrastructure means our security parts comes here, like IAM services and all the things comes here. Account and access management, client endpoint, and data governance. These all we have to manage in our IAS. In PAS, it gives us a platform. Okay. Now only assume in the platform we don't have to manage the things about operating system. Do you ever heard about something like Heroku,
Yes.
or you also ever heard about Hostinger and these things?
Yes.
Okay, so they gives us a platform as a service. Okay,
Okay.
they gives us a platform. We don't have to manage our operating system also. Okay, like in infrastructure as a service, like in AWS, when you are creating your EC2 instances, in Azure if you are creating your virtual machines, these time you have to select your operating system also. Like you have to came their option, you have to select your Linux, Windows, the Amazon Linux. Okay,
Okay.
so we have to manage, but in platform as a service it gives us only platform. So what we have to do, we have to put our code inside that service, and he will deploy our code to the main life. Like it will, we have to create an app, we have to create a website, so it will be directly managed. So we don't have to think about our physical things like the physical host, physical network, physical data centers. Also with that, we don't have to manage operating system, network control, applications, and identity and directory infrastructure. But these all are in the green color cause of we can also manage these things. Okay, we can also
Okay.
manage these things. The customer also can manage these things, and the provider also can manage these things. Okay.
Okay.
And you in AWS, you also ever worked with some PA services? Do you know any PA services you ever worked in AWS?
Some what services?
I am asking you which PaaS, PaaS service, do you used in ever in AWS?
Mm,
There are multiple services also inside AWS, which is worked as a PaaS services.
I may have used them, but I don't know. I don't know the differences between them. So, for
Okay,
example, like what, like let me see, maybe see, like
you don't
S,
you.
like S3
Mhm,
bucket
mhm.
is S3
Okay,
bucket pass.
S3 bucket. But we have to do something work on S3 bucket, so it is not a totally part of that.
Okay. Let me
Do you ever
see,
use Lambda?
Lambda, Lambda
Yes,
function. No,
it
I've not
is
used
a.
it. I've not used it.
Okay, so the Lambda is a serverless. Okay, we don't have to manage anything there. We only have to put our code inside the Lambda functions, and it what we wanna do, we can do there. Okay, it is as a
Okay.
platform as a service part.
Okay.
Only the difference between IAS, PAS, and SAS. IAS gives us, we don't have to manage our hardware part, but we can maintain our operating system, we can maintain our network controls, and all these things. In platform as a service, we don't have to think about our these things also, the operating system, the network controls, inbound, outbound rules. We don't have to think. We only have to put our code inside that. In software as a service, we also don't think about our code thing. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
only we like, you ever used WordPress? Have you heard about WordPress and wix.com?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so these are the example of SaaS. Okay, so what we do, we do drag and drop we use drag and drop there. Okay, so WordPress is, we don't have to manage anything. We only do some changes there, and it will deploy. We don't have to also think about our code part. And in what in software as a service, also the part comes of Gmail. Okay,
Okay.
Outlook. These are also as a software as a service, means you are only gonna use the software. Understood?
Yep.
Now can you repeat all these things? What is the difference between on premises, IaaS, PaaS, and SAS?
So with on premises, you have full control and you are responsible for, for managing the operating system, the network, the application,
Mm-hmm.
right up to the data governance and everything. With
Mm-hmm.
IaaS, the service provider will manage the operating system, the physical network, and the
Mm-hmm.
data center while you manage from the network controls and upward.
Okay.
With pass is the same thing, but you
Mm-hmm.
manage the operating system and
Mm-hmm.
above. And then with SaaS, the cloud provider will manage up to the level of the application while you manage from
Mm-hmm.
identity and upward.
Can you give me some examples? What is
So
IaaS and what is PS and what is SaaS?
yeah, so with SaaS, we can say a good example of SaaS is AWS, Microsoft Azure. Um, with
Is it AWS, Azure, and Microsoft is an example of SaaS or IaaS?
of SaaS.
Azure, AWS, and our GCP are the part of IaaS. These are not the part of
Or if or infrastructure as a code. Okay.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
infrastructure
yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah,
service.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Okay.
SaaS, an example of SaaS is gonna be SaaS is
Gmail,
gonna
Outlook.
Gmail, Outlook,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then PaaS is gonna be like
Mm-hmm.
Lambda,
Heroku,
Heroku,
Hostinger.
Hostinger.
Okay. These are
Yeah.
the part of that.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so
Yeah.
these are also the type of services we have, which we gonna use. Like in AWS, we have Lambda. There are also multiple services. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay, now we go again above there about the again about the this part. Okay, so we now we have talked about SaaS is so what is SaaS? It delivers a software application over the internet on the subscription basis. Like in the Gmail, we got 5 GB free. In iCloud, we give something about uh, 2 GB and about that free. And these are the part of software as a service. We can also do here the security part. Like the popular examples is Google Workshop, Microsoft 365 and Salesforce. These are the types of SaaS. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know how we can do the security things in our Gmail? Gmail is a SaaS provider. Okay.
Yes.
It is a SaaS software as a service type. So how we can do the security part here?
So there in Gmail settings, you can report as spam. You can
Mhm.
Yes, you can configure the emails that to go to spam trash. You can block emails. You can block some
Is,
domains from coming in.
do you know what is also there is a option of multi-factor
Multi
authentication?
yes, multi-factor. Yep.
Okay, this is also came as a cloud security part. I'm not saying in the cloud this Gmail is not come. It is also a cloud part. So you also have to know the cloud security is inside SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. In the IaaS, there are multiple things we have given by the multiple providers like guard duty. Okay, CloudWatch,
Right.
and more multiple things which given by our providers, us by providers, which we gonna use in our AWS, which gonna helps us in the part of the security, cloud security. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we will give some overview regarding AWS and something now then Azure, and after that we're also gonna learn about what is GCP and that. Okay. So now, so AWS, as we know, it is a popular, the most popular service provider which gives some multiple services. As in the image you can see there are multiple things. Which things do you know from this image? Like which services do you know?
So I'm going to start with the with the VPC, which
Mm-hmm.
is virtual private cloud, which is where our resources
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
are built in. So we have the AWS WAF, which is the web application firewall. We have the Amazon
Yes,
CloudFront, which is a
okay. Sorry. Now we can start again.
okay.
Okay.
Um,
So you are talking about VPC. Inside
okay.
VPC, we have some subnet part.
Okay. So let me start
Yes,
from the
you can
outside. So
start.
we have the AWS WAF, the web application, which we use to
Mm-hmm.
protect, to shield the traffic. We have the Amazon
Mm-hmm.
CloudFront, which is a content delivery. We have Route 53, which is the
Mm-hmm.
DNS, and then
Okay.
we have the shield for DDoS attacks, and then
Okay.
now we have, yeah. So now we have the
Mm-hmm.
public and private subnets, which in the
Mm-hmm.
public subnet, we have we're going to have our web servers or web instances or
Mm-hmm.
EC2 instances. And in the private subnet,
Okay.
we'll have things like our database application and
That's good.
stuff
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, and stuff like that. And then we have the Elastic Cache
Mm-hmm.
service for caching and
Okay.
the EFS for file sharing. I think those are some of
Okay.
the things I see. Right. And then we have auto scaling,
Okay.
most important. Ooh, auto scaling. Yeah.
Auto scaling. That's also important.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
There is also AWS Shield. Do you know about AWS Shield?
Yes, for DDoS attacks, used for DDoS attacks.
Yes, for the DDoS attack, we use AWS Shield. But there are three levels we can define our security perspective. What will be the first will be in our app level, app or our product level. Like if you are having some website, that level, app or slash website. There, what we use, do you know? We use WAF. We can use AWS Shield. Okay.
Yes.
Then another, do you know what about which level we have? That is
Mm,
instance level, like our EC2 instance and
secur-
all.
sec- security group.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Inside that, in the EC2, we create security groups.
Yes.
Then we another have subnet levels.
Access control
Yes, access control.
is ACLs.
There is also something. Do you know about what is NACL?
Yes, NACOs, network
Mm-hmm.
access controls. Yeah.
That's good. Then we lastly, in between, there are multiple services in the VPC level we have, which we use for at the VPC level. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there is all the these things which we gonna use about regarding our cloud security perspective. Okay, so in this thing, what happens? This EC2 instance is connected to the S3 buckets for static items, which we don't we need. There are two things. They created up two public subnets, one public subnet and another public subnet. Inside that public subnet, what we have a net gateway. Okay, so the net
Okay.
gateways also we can use for the security perspective. Then we have some web subnets in we can there are two availability zones. Do you know what is the availability zones? Like, I know you know
Yeah.
about that also because you have the knowledge. So there are
Yes.
multiple availability zones also here. And also there is some for the security perspective, there are DB subnets. Inside that, Amazon RDS is used. Okay, the relational
Right.
database. For the caching, Elastic Cache will be used, and for a shared file system, EFS will be used, Elastic File Sharing System. Then these all are connected to the load balancers, okay, and the
Right.
auto scaling groups for which helps to low down time. And also for the application perspective, we have WAF and AWS Shield, DDoS protection. And for our domain name protection, we have Amazon Route 53 DNS service. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now we're gonna see about the Azure platform. There are the all multiple things as same as Azure. Like when we go for a Azure class, then I will tell you about all of these. But now I will give you some the basics of them, like which you're gonna know. So there is a virtual machine. It is a similar of EC2 in our AWS. There is our Elastic Cache, like it is also as a Azure cache we used here, and there is a access control which we are saying IAM in our uh, AWS. There are Azure SQL database, MySQL database, like we are having multiple databases in AWS also, the RDS, relational database systems. And do you know which database systems we also have in the relational part there in AWS?
Sorry, in AWS,
Do you know
my
which
my
RDS
my
services?
my my SQL,
Okay, MySQL and
we have Postgres,
okay.
we have Aurora.
Yes, Aurora. Okay, the
Yes.
same we have here the services as in our Azure SQL database, MySQL database, SQL data sync. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Like we have CloudFront in our AWS. There is a media services as the same. There we have a content delivery CDN which we use for the CloudFront here, traffic manager, and the multiple services as the same. They work as same, but there are only the difference between the name and some parts of that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so there are also some multiple tools. We gonna watch them. Which tools we have? We will gonna use in our security part. Okay, so there are some compliances regarding security perspectives, GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS. These are regulations. We're gonna learn about these also, but you only need. Do you know about the GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS?
Yes.
What are these?
So those are HIPAA would be the controls that or what you apply if you are working in a herd environment to protect patients' information. Um,
Mm-hmm.
PCI DSS will be an environment where, let's say, an e-commerce environment where you have to make payments with credit cards and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
GRDP, yes, I think GRTP is that data data breach security product. Sorry, oh man, it's a framework that gives you the
Mm-hmm.
guideline to control the data privacy.
Yes, it is regarding the data privacy things. Okay.
Right,
Like the
right,
PCI DSS used for like the regulations we have set it toward anyone can't be able to store the credit card information, debit card information. Okay.
right.
Okay, that's also be good. Okay, so in the AWS Azure, what we do in Azure, we have multiple services. Let me share the another slide where we gonna learn about the services directly. Which service we gonna use? Okay, so the at first service we have here, the IAM. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the IAM is used in AWS, and there is also Azure AD, which is used for the identity and access management. AWS IAM, Google IAM, these are the same name, but these also gives the permissions. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, okay.
Excuse me, one question. I have a question. So
Mhm.
there is, I heard something like the intra ID. Is that like the intra ID in Azure? Is that like the AWS IAM?
Intra ID like in AW in Azure, it is similar like to IAM.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So so the Azure AD is basically used for the Azure Active Directory. Okay.
Okay,
The Active Directory, it is same as AWS IAM, which is used for the manager user identity integrates with Microsoft services. Do you know Azure also have their two things? One is their Azure portal, and one is their Azure DevOps. Do you know about this?
Yes.
Okay, so in the both fields, you have to do some privacy, the cloud security part. In Azure DevOps, you can do at the CI/CD level. In the Azure portal, we have multiple services. In the instance level or a virtual service level, we can do that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Do you have account in, like, I think you have account in AWS?
Yes, I have an AWS account.
Do you have account in Azure?
I am going to check. I think I have one. I'll check. But I think I have because I created. I think I created an. I was trying to
Uh,
read something on Intra ID and I created the Active Directory something. I'll check. I'll check real quick.
like, do you have account in a like Azure portal, an account in Azure portal?
Let me see. Let me 1 second. Let me
uh,
verify.
yes.
Mm, let me make sure that I have that account. See, you know, um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, check other. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Let me check at my
Sure, sure.
yeah, let me check my bookmarks. Make sure I got the check here. Okay, let me see. Um,
If you are having some problem, you can share your screen also.
okay, I'm just trying to verify to make sure that I have it before, or maybe I'm gonna create a new one. But I think I had it somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, that is
Okay, but you currently don't have the subscription plan. If you will click in virtual machine, do you click in virtual machine?
okay. Let me click virtual machine.
There down in Azure services.
Okay,
Yes, click here. Basically, you don't have the subscription right now. Okay,
okay,
so at first you have to create the account. Like, you can start the Azure free trial, like
okay,
as it is same as we have in AWS.
okay,
Okay, so you can create the account by here. Okay, and I am also sharing my another link with you, which will for the Azure DevOps. And after
okay,
that, okay. In the
okay,
meantime, you can create the account here. If something will be the problem, like I think you will create the account here. It will not any problem. Wait a minute.
okay. Sign up. It says you are not eligible for an Azure free account.
Yes. Uh, I can't able to see your screen. I'm only seeing the screen of Microsoft Azure.
Okay,
Welcome to Azure page.
let me stop and stop sharing, stop presenting, and then present again. Present
From the same page, you
entire
can go.
screen.
Yes,
Sign
here.
in.
You can click on the profile icon there. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this is where I
You
am now.
can
It
go to the
says
sign in with different
you are not
account, or you
eligible
can do the
for.
sign out from the above.
Okay, sign in with different
You are not
account.
eligible for.
So I will use my different Gmail account, right?
Yes, you have to use your different Gmail account.
Okay. 1 second. Let me get you. Okay. Sign in. Sign in blocked. Why?
Is blocked for the reason some the wrong password too many times. Okay, so you entered your password many times, so you can reset your password, I think.
Let me see. Mm.
You can reset your password, or if you have another Gmail, you can use that also.
Let me reset the password then.
Hmm. Enter your email here.
Okay. Let's see.